Ladies and gentlemen, the moment we all been waiting for, and this is my second time recording this. I seem to always run into something when I'm trying to record videos for you guys, so forgive me. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. My name is Braven. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm a Twitch streamer, competitive. Twitch.tv/x_Braven. Follow, like, and subscribe that, please. Very much appreciated. And same thing with my YouTube channel. All the support is definitely helping me grow and continue doing what I love, especially because I put all this time and effort and money, especially money, into all this. It does help for any kind of growth. And again, this is all about helping each other out. So, you know, I'm trying to help you guys out. Help me out. You know what I mean? If you guys have any inputs or questions about anything, you know, to leave them in the comment section. But this is a special video today because we're going to do a flat line of EQ settings for the Blackshark V2 Pro and troubleshooting info on entirely, because I just figured it out. We got it all dialed in. You shouldn't have any issues anymore with your Razer headsets or Razer products entirely on fixing them. This is going to be great. So it's going to be awesome. Hope you enjoy. I'm going to try to make this one a little shorter. The reason why this is the second recording is because I was recording EQ settings that were, I guess, not correct, and it didn't show Battlefield EQ settings. I think it was for like mic monitoring, or I mean not mic monitoring, microphone usage, which I'm not going to go through microphone usage specifically because that is all personal, tailored to your voice. But that's why I screwed up. Now I figured it out. I thought I didn't have my Battlefield EQ showing, and I was like, what the hell? It's there. It was literally just flatlined. So then now I pulled it up, and it was just under the wrong section, so now we're good. So, very weird, trust me. I just didn't notice it, but we're going to get to the Razer THX spatial setup. But before we do that, firmware. If you're having issues where Razer Synapse is not detecting any of your products for some reason at all, and this is a good fix. This is pretty much foolproof now that I fucking fixed it in this way. They don't explain this to you really how to do it, and I know some websites try to kind of walk you through a little bit, but this is just how to do it in order properly. You're gonna get that shit fixed. It's gonna go on there. You shouldn't have any issues. At least for me, I did it all over with a couple things and it worked fine, so you should be good, hopefully, unless it's a defective product. That's the most unfortunate circumstance that would happen, but like with my Huntsman Mini, my first ever Razer product, to give me issues, so no problem. Well, issues to the point where it's defective. But anyways, Razer Synapse, very tricky. We're going to enjoy this video. Like I said, please follow, like, subscribe. Very much appreciated. We're going to get right to it. I'm going to show you guys from the first step of THX spatial, troubleshooting your Razer products, and then we'll go into THX spatial. So without further ado. Okay, just making sure I'm on display capture. So welcome to my homepage. Purple sci-fi look, that's me. Anyways, obviously you can see that I have many games that I play, well, testing a lot of games too. Like I want to do more Titanfall testing, by the way. I'm working on that. Madden NFL, I use a specific EQ, which, by the way, I did for those people that were looking for music EQs. I made a really good music EQ. Sounds really good with Madden, which is weird. It sounds really good with Madden football, but it's really good with electronic music, as you can hear right now, but it's not on music EQ right now. This is on a gaming EQ. I just threw it on there so I could show you guys in the video. But anyways, very good. We're going to look forward to that one. It's going to be great. We're going to pop up the first steps you do, and sound properties profile too. So after you do the firmware the firmware update, but yeah, that's what you got to do, is firmware update. But I'm going to walk you through how to troubleshoot and fix everything. Let's just say, hypothetically, your Razer Blackshark V2, being Braven, that had this issue, does not discover in Synapse. Most likely, your computer copied multiple versions of the same headset. And what's happening is Razer Synapse is loading in a copy that is not recognized. And the reason why is because it's not the main copy. It's the weirdest fucking thing, but it is definitely an issue. And you know what? If you're having performance issues in any way, shape, or form with any of your Razer products entirely, you might want to just check this anyways. So what you do is you go type to your search bar, you type in device manager. I already have it pulled up right here, but you type device manager. And you're going to go in, you're going to see audio inputs, outputs. You're going to see, you know, all your important computer stuff, monitors and everything. You could even go into your monitors if you're having monitor issues and look into your, you know, monitors stuff. I don't know why it's saying generic PNP monitor, but this is a fucking high-end monitor. Just not recognizing the type of monitor, I'm assuming. But again, you got your disk drives. You got all this stuff that's very important in here entirely. And what you want to do is you want to go to audio inputs and outputs, specifically if you have a Blackshark V2 Pro with this issue, or a Blackshark V2 wire. You're going to see right here where it says THX Spatial Audio, THX Spatial. THX Spatial is the software outside of Synapse that is THX Spatial. So say, for example, if you're using, well, let me just verify that. Yeah, it is. Okay, so if you're using THX Spatial, It's because, one, your headset does not come with THX Spatial installed. Two, it's because your headset is not a Razer headset entirely, and you want to utilize the software that is THX Spatial. Very, very good THX spatial sound. Surround sound is probably the best you can get off the internet, bar none, as software. So if you're saying you have I mean, I'm sure you're not watching this video wearing a HyperX headset or whatever, but if you are using like a Logitech HyperX headset and you want to utilize THX Spatial, which a lot of people do, download that software. You'll get a 15-day free trial. And you only spend 20 bucks one time, which it is pretty pricey. But again, Razer always likes to throw money up. You know what I mean? It's fine. I would say like 20 bucks is not that big a deal. Just cut out a few burgers out of your weekend or whatever. Whatever the case is, go and get the $20 one-time purchase. And you got THX Spatial, top tier surround sound audio quality. I know people are talking about Dolby Atmos and what's the other one? It's at the top of my head, but I can't think about it. There's Dolby Atmos and something else. There's even Windows Sonic. You got spatial sounds, which, by the way, I think we'll do a fun little experiment and test audio like that later on. But just that's what that's for. Specifically, if it says THX Spatial, it's because it's the software. Again, that's if you have, like, say, an older headset, like let's even say a Kraken, that doesn't come with the THX Spatial. You go in, download this, do the free trial, and it'll tell you if your headset that you have plugged in already has THX Spatial because of what's built in with it, or it doesn't. And the THX Spatial that comes with your headset is not the software utilized. It's the software utilized is probably like the highest quality you'll get, but you still got THX Spatial and it's still good stuff. So either way, you're gonna be fine. But if your headset doesn't come with it, then you could utilize the software through the computer. You cannot download the software into your headset entirely. So it's not like if for console players, you can't just download THX Spatial, download it, buy it. It won't like install into your headset or install into a sound card. It just won't work like that. But anyways, back to troubleshooting. All this, it should always be just the original Razer Blackshark V2 Pro, THX Spatial Audio, Razer Siren Mini. Anything that you own that's a Razer product, it should be literally listed as that. If there's a 1 or a 2 next to it, it means there's a copy of that profile, and then it's not going to recognize by Synapse. Synapse is going to go, what the hell is this? So best bet is to go in, and this is how you fix that. Best bet is to go in, you just like go delete every single one of these. Boom, 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 boom. Just delete all of it. And it even goes for if you have mice and keyboards or mice and keyboards and mouse mats and whatnot, you're going to delete all this too. Just delete everything. And the reason why is because you're doing a fresh install. So what happens is it's going to rediscover everything. And don't fret. All your profiles are saved to the cloud. All your EQs and everything, boom, you're safe. So all that deleted, you get out of there. And then you're going to go in. And before you, oh, by the way, before you do anything like that at all, remember to verify that your product on the Razer, mysupport.razer.com, is updated to the latest firmware. There's not a whole lot of products on here, but there is products that do deserve a firmware update. If you have the Blackshark V2 Pro, which is right here, you do have a firmware update, and it depends on when the firmware update was released and if you bought a product later on, because normally if the product is a newer version, say the one that releases with this firmware, then you should be good. But like my product, it was probably one that sat back for a while, and I got the one without the firmware update, so I did do the firmware update. This will fix all of your problems. If you have anything that has, like say if you have Black Widow V3 10 keyless, which just released not too long ago, you have a firmware update. If you have the Electra V2 USB, you have a firmware update. If you have a Mamba Elite, you most likely have a firmware update, so on and so forth. These are just the most up-to-date firmware to make sure everything's running good. Like I have a Basilisk V2, and my Basilisk V2 was up to date. So, and even the Basilisk Ultimate, up to date. Everything's been up to date. I've literally checked everything. Everything's good. Always do that for all of your products. The only thing I could say is if you do an update, like say for my example with the Huntsman Mini with my defective product, was that it did fix the issue that it had in terms of locking the taskbar, which was very scary. I always thought just my computer's having issues. It was literally just the keyboard. After that happened, after that was updated, it fixed that problem, but the defective problem was it randomly typing, and the keys are like, I guess just, I don't know, having some kind of technical issue where it's sending so many fucking keys out with one push. Very weird. But anyways, that's getting taken care of and we're being replaced. That just means it's a defective product. That firmware cannot help you with that. So before you do any of that installing stuff, or uninstalling, installing Razer Synapse, do this first and then go do that, because after you fresh install it, you'll still have the newest firmware. No problems. Anyways, that's pretty much the technical part of it. Oh, and just to verify your sounds are proper, your properties of your sounds. I have mine set up where, okay, this is my monitor disabled. All the digital outputs disabled. I have my Blackshark V2 Pro as a default communications device. Just set it as a default communications device under playback if you're using an external mic. If you're not, I'm pretty sure you could just leave that as ready. I don't know if it sets automatically under the recording and it sets it back over here, but this should be your ready. It should be under ready. Unless if it's not ready, then this is why THX Spatial is ready. This doesn't matter. You can disable this. It won't make a difference. But THX Spatial Audio is your default device, bar none. I know you don't see any EQ popping, but you can hear the music. Everything's going. Everything's working. So THX Spatial, this is what you're going to hear in your headset. And this is giving you the surround sound experience. And when you do the audio testing and stuff, I wonder if we could test on the fly. There you go. So it's testing every angle and your subwoofers and everything. So that's how you fix that, or that's how you could tell that it's utilizing every single channel, which is good. And then you go into recording, and as you can see, me talking, I have the Blackshark V2 Pro as my default device, and then I have the Razer Siren Mini as a default communications device. The reason I have it set up specifically like this is because I know people have noticed the same issue that I was having in terms of, and I've switched this around quite a bit, but this is the proper way to do it. The reason why I have it like this is because it will trigger the Call of Duty audio if you're playing Warzone or playing Cold War. If it's your audio lowers, because the software, I mean the game itself will drop the software off for more important audio. You'll be able to switch it back from default device to default communications device. The reason why you want to set it to default communications device in Call of Duty or games like that is because it will take over the audio of your mic, whatever your mic is, and then it'll give you the full audio experience of the game in your headset under playback. So it'll just go use your playback audio as your main audio source, and then your microphone will be the communications part of it. So just make sure everything else is disabled. That is my camera. That I don't know why I'm saying microphone, but it's my camera that you guys are seeing me through. It does have a microphone on it. That's probably why, but we're not utilizing that at all. And after that, you're good. Another thing to check too, I'm pretty sure if you could check this on the fly. It's under 16-bit. That probably gives you the least amount of latency in game. But I know sometimes when you fresh install it, you get that little bump up to 24-bit. I don't know. It happens to me very rarely. It's weird. I've uninstalled and reinstalled to try to make it come back, but sometimes it just does not work. That's going to give you the best audio experience, but this is still really, really good audio. 16-bit is like normally standard, but they have 24-bit as well. Other than that, see spatial sound format, do not add any of this because it's Windows Sonic. You don't need it. It's something we could test later to see if it sounds better than THX Spatial, which I know it doesn't because I've already played with it before, but something fun to do on stream or something. We'll probably check that out. But just make sure and verify everything like that is good under the Razer Blackshark V2 Pro. THX Spatial, not that one. THX Spatial, it doesn't give you much options here. It's going to still give you 16-bit for the spatial audio anyways. And then this is off because, again, it's Windows Sonic. Make sure it's at 100 and everything is fucking good. So after that, you should be set. All your audio should be good for the Razer Blackshark V2 Pro. And you should be pretty much ready to go to test it, except for the EQ. So now we're under enhancements, okay? Mixer, every time you have anything under mixer, right? You want custom mode, hit this off, hit it back on. You'll hear it trick over. Like, I don't know if you heard it right now. It's really hard to tell. Let me see if I can turn up the music real quick and then you can hear the difference. Let's see. The wrong timing of the song. Okay, there we go. You see it? You hear it click over? Yeah. So when you're doing that, it does trigger it over. So every time you start the app up, just make sure you click over. And this is for people that are using the software on the computer, because if you're on console, it's probably nothing to even worry about because you're automatically going to have THX Spatial enabled from saving to the profile of your USB dongle, and it should go over and you should be good. Everything should be set to manual, and then obviously your profiles in game probably should set them as well for console too, but profiles in game, set them all to custom. I know some of them are mixed up right now, but I guess I haven't obviously played Battlefield Hardline on the Apex profile, so some of it will be mixed up, but just make sure that when you're playing a certain game, say like Apex Legends should be on custom. And another thing I want to talk to you guys about too, let me turn this on a little more. Another thing I want to talk to you guys about, THX competitive mode and THX environmental. This is a very rough topic. Oh my god, you really have to go outside right now during this. What's up, man? A very interesting topic about THX Spatial is the fact that, or THX Spatial, THX Competitive Mode and THX Environmental, is that some games utilize it very, very well. Some games make it sound very weird. But competitive mode is always supposed to expand sound, and it's for you to not fret about the audio that it's given outside of it, like party chat. You're not going to get the best quality party chat, and the competitive advantage you get from THX competitive is pretty good. You can hear people, especially if you're playing at a highest level where there's no music playing and you're literally just focused in, you're like creeping through a fucking hallway or something in Warzone, and you just hear somebody at the other end of the hallway coming around the corner, and you're already like, you know what, I can pre-aim that. That's the advantage it's supposed to give you. It's not supposed to make it feel immersive and like, oh my god, the audio's expanded really far, because it's software and there's only so much software can do. But don't fret. Custom mode is the best audio experience I've had, and I usually use custom mode for everything. Obviously, you can see THX competitive set here in certain games, but again, ignore that because this is under one profile. It changes between profiles. So leave it custom for any game you play, and then for games you want to test to use a competitive advantage, like if you're playing at a high level, like say Csgo, for example. I think Csgo allows it. Yes, Csgo allows competitive, THX competitive. Give it a try. Give it a try, practice with it, see if you like it, you know, play around with it. Obviously, do it in a time when you're like just trying to really see what the advantages of THX competitive is, or THX environmental. THX environmental is more or less like story-based games where you want to just hear like the environment like be immersive as all hell, but the quality of it is not the best. I feel like custom mode just makes the audio better. Custom mode is your EQ settings that I have set up specifically for you to try. That's the best bet you're going to get. THX is definitely good, but competitive and environmental, I believe, could probably be worked on a little bit. Maybe gave a better version of it that comes out like THX Competitive 2. Maybe it brings it more to life instead of just more of just expanding sound and giving like a weird sound. Like some people say it's like sounds tinny and echoey. Well, that's because it's supposed to expand the audio out. Like imagine like you're hearing, you know, let's just say like my phone, I throw my phone on the ground, which I'm not going to do obviously, but I throw my phone on the ground like across the hallway, right? And then I do it again and I record both. I'm going to hear it more in real tune on custom, like more in real life, but I'm going to be able to hear exactly pinpoint where, if I'm not looking, if I throw it exactly down the hallway and I can hear it pinpoint with THX competitive. That's how it's supposed to be, reaching distances farther, but it's supposed to pinpoint accuracy. That's the biggest thing about competitive gaming entirely, so that's what it was built around. But again, it's just the first version. Also, the software is in beta, so it's something you got to work with. So anyways, again, I know I walk through this quite often, which is not set up properly, and I hate when it does that. It seems loud. Really? I didn't even click on that one. Software, beta software causes these issues, and it bugs the shit out of me. So forgive me, I'm gonna have to fix this real quick because I went too far down. Like right there. Jesus. Okay. Whew. I hate that that's how they test spatial audios with the helicopter. Anyways, it's just fucking ridiculous. And by the way, it is the Blackshark V2 Pro. I'm just charging, as you can see, I'm charging it from the stream last night. So, anyways, Apex. We're gonna start with the enhancements of Apex. I'll leave timestamps for each one. I'll try to do as best as I can. Apex, I have it set to 5, 2, 3, 4, 1, 0, 2, 1, 1, and 3. And the reason why I have Apex set like this is one of the, this is if not the trickiest game to set EQs for, because there is just so much audio that's a mess, but the audio is still good when it's not a mess. And the reason I'm saying that is because characters' abilities and grenades and you know, respawning somebody, all these kind of audio cues, they're really good at distances, but when it comes to being close to it, it will muddle the most important sounds, and it really could throw you off. So this is one game where, like, I say copy and paste the EQ, but kind of like understand that you probably could better it a little bit. I'm just setting this as a standard until I test it more on stream, but this is what I found is the best at the moment. And I personally feel like there's a lot more I got to do with this because, again, there's so much messy audio. For example, Bangalore's missile launch that drops down, right? That thing will literally just spread audio all over the place if somebody's near you, and you will be clouded. Your audio will not come up. It's very, very weird. So I don't know why it's like that for Apex. I feel like they emphasize more of the important audio onto abilities when it's not important. Like another example is Octane's stim shot. When you're running around the stim shot and you're going fast, that a lot of that audio is covered by him juiced up, which is ridiculous. Like it shouldn't be that loud. However, this is Respawn's development, and the audio is good outside of that. It's just they need to obviously work on the important stuff, and I'm sure if somebody sends that over, they'll understand and work on it. So that's Apex. Bass boost at 100. Again, this is more personal preference. Like with the Blackshark V2 Pro, bass is so good in this. You probably could turn this down to like 80 and get a more accurate, not so overpowered sound. But obviously, I'm still playing with it, so I just leave it at 100 right now. And it's for a lot of games, I'm still playing with it. But I personally say like 80 to 100 is kind of a fair ballpark. But that's where the bass boost comes in. Is for very important audio is when somebody's at a distance and you can hear them running up. That's where that bass boost comes into a factor. And that's why I have it set to 5. But again, even then, it's sometimes a little overpowered, and sometimes it's because audio is getting muddled by some crazy fucking ability or something. So other than that, start with this. Let me know what you guys come up with in the Apex. For all the Apex fans, let me know what you guys come up with, and tell me what you think is the best EQ. But just try to copy and paste this and work with it and see what happens. Battlefield. This is what I had issues before. It was not set properly. It's very weird. Battlefield's bass does not need to be up high. It's got such clear audio that you could tune it down just for a more cleaner sound. You don't need the 100% bass boost. I feel like it does start to static out a little bit when the bass is overpowered. So balancing the EQ a little bit is a lot better. That's why you see it's a lot lower. I have Battlefield, and Battlefield's like my favorite game for audio. It sounds so good. That's why the EQ is not really bumped up. It's just bumped up for the important audio, as you can see. The important sounds to give a little bit of an oomph, but other than that, it's just more of like an emphasize on how good the audio is, just a little boost to it. And obviously, bass boost, again, I do have it at 80 for that specific reason of it being too loud. I've been playing Battlefield quite a bit lately, especially because Battlefield 6 trailer is about to release. Can't wait for that game. But this should go for all Battlefield games. Obviously, like, in the middle of a Battlefield game, say like you're going to play Battlefield 1, you might want to be able to like bump up a little bit of bass, maybe lower a little bit of bass, depending on a certain Battlefield, just a little bit, like 1 or 2 EQs, but this should be a good balance throughout because of the audio is so good in Battlefield. This should be a set standard. So we're going to start with 3, 1, 2, 3, 0, 0, 2, 1, 0, and 2. Again, Battlefield's audio, really good. I know I've done these EQ videos quite a bit now, but this is an updated version. But Battlefield was not on there, and Battlefield, I'm telling you right now, very, very good audio. Just bump up a little bit of what's, you know, to emphasize the nice audio that it gives, but give you a little bit of an advantage at distances, just a little bit, because you don't really need much. And again, this is all personal preference. You might want to bump it up a lot more. It's up to you, but just copy and paste here, see if you like it, let me know. All right. COD, this is Call of Duty Modern Warfare, my main streaming game. I personally have the EQs tuned down a bit, which I don't know why this is at 5. It should be at 6. But I have it tuned down a little bit compared to the Blackshark V2 wired, and that's because the Blackshark V2 Pro I feel like has a lot more cleaner audio and more emphasized audio. I was gonna say emphasized audio. I do have bass boost still at 100 because, again, I know it does get a little crazy with certain audio sounds. Call of Duty's audio is such a mess, so I have to ignore that type of bad audio just to get the best competitive advantage, because I sometimes hear broken audio not even come through. So just to help me as best as I can in a game that you very much need it, I have it really high. So, but not compared to the V2 Pro. V2 wired, sorry. The V2 wired, I have it higher, but this is pretty good standard for the V2 Pro. So I have it to 6, 2, 3, 5, 1, 1. 4, 2, 2, and 5. And you can see that everything's bumped up, even a little bit on certain sounds. Even if it's not important, I bumped it up a little bit just because it's that bad of audio. Like, Call of Duty's audio is that bad. So this should honestly give you the best competitive advantage in Call of Duty Warzone with this headset. Again, the V2 wired, I will be doing another video on EQ updates for the V2 wired for all the games. But obviously, I just got this working. I'm enjoying this fucking headset. Let me be. So, other than that, very, very good. Very, very good setup right there. The best you're going to get for that game. Cold War is not necessarily so important. So, as you can see, I dropped it down quite a bit, but it's very similar still. Call of Duty's bass audio, which by the way, bass boost on this one, you want to turn this down to at least 90. I'll do 90 on this one, because on Cold War, bass audio is like very emphasized, and it's sometimes very broken, but in certain spots it can be very good. It's still a very poorly done, optimized game entirely for PC, but in terms of the audio, like I said, it has broken moments, it has really good moments. Compared to Warzone, actually I would say Cold War has better audio moments, but it's still got some broken fucking audio. So for me personally, I have it at 4, 1, 2, 4, 0, 0, 2, 0, 2, and 4. And again, just emphasizing the important audio to give you a competitive advantage, but it's not necessarily going to give you the best, like, in real-time sound. For example, like people that want the realistic audio, you really don't even want that for Call of Duty anyways, with how crazy people play, and it's just kind of a weird community behind that game. I don't like the community personally, but the way they play, you kind of want to, you know, you kind of want to give yourself a little bit of advantage, especially for the dirty tactics that they use, is what I'm trying to get at. So other than that, this should be good. Gives you the important audio at the right times, and hopefully you don't get distracted by some fucking missile strike or something that gets in the way, or a fucking VTOL warship or whatever the fuck they call it nowadays, that fucking literally just spams audio and shakes the screen in front of you. It sometimes gets ridiculous. So Csgo, which I don't even have my mic monitoring on, that shit just threw me the fuck off. It's like, imagine like just talking and it just gets silent. You're like, oh. That was weird. Anyways, I don't have a mic. Again, I don't use my mic for streaming, so I don't use the mic equalizer for people to hear me. I really don't care about this because I use the Siren Mini. But I will tell you right now, this, just a heads up for anyone that's using mic equalizer with the headset mic, you want to adjust highs and lows based off the bass of your voice and off the highs of your voice. So for example, me, I feel like I'm more of a deeper but mid-tone at the same time. So like I do get up into the highs, and I know my highs can get pretty high, so I do higher up the highs a little bit, but the bass is kind of lower for me because I feel like I'm still pretty bumped, and that gives me the best clarity. I do put volume normalization on too, by the way. So volume normalization I max out, and I believe that just sounds the best out of everything. That's it though. You don't want anything else other than that. And then obviously raise your bass if you have a higher pitch voice, and then raise your highs if you have a lower pitch voice. So pretty much after that, mids you just balance just a little bit according to that. So no big deal. But anyways, back to enhancements. CSGO, I've played it only so often, so I just want to set this as like a standard. It gives you a competitive advantage, but it's still not dialed in entirely. But you could try this and work with it and see what happens, and then obviously on stream, when we get time to practice on CSGO and have fun with it, we will test more audio about that. So 5, 2, 4, 4, 1, 1, 2, 1, 3, and 3. And again, bass boost 100, just because in certain audio spots, especially in CSGO, with it not being that much, you know, bad audio, it's just mainly like a rifle sound, a sniper sound, a grenade sound. You may once run into a smoke or a Molotov, but it's really all just based on competitive edge, and I believe this has been a starting point for me, and I know I'm going to dial in more when I play more of it, so keep an eye out for the CSGO streams. And again, every time I stream something that's testing THX spatial, I'll be putting like THX testing, and then obviously the game will be listed as CSGO or whatever, and you guys can join in and have some conversations and tell me what you guys hear on stream. Maybe you guys will have your headsets plugged in and be watching the stream. That'd be pretty cool to see what you guys, maybe it'd be very similar. Obviously it's a recording, it's through a stream, but you might be able to find something that kind of sounds a little pretty good, you know, or maybe it doesn't. We'll see. It should be fun though. We're gonna skip music right now because I'm gonna do that at the end, but we're gonna go Rainbow Six Siege. This game's been very hard for me to test, but I have tested quite often, and I noticed that the bass audio is so good. And I feel like the bass is not really needing to be touched. I know bass boost is up pretty high, but that's just for competitive advantage at longer ranges. It's the highs that throw me off, and I put the highs up pretty high because there's certain highs that I want to hear at long distances that make me want to, you know, very well depict where it's from. So obviously I have 4, 2, 1, 3, 0, 2, 4, 1, 4, and 5. It's a little different from other games, but again, they're all very similar in terms of build of sound. What's important? Bass. Deep bass, far away, and thuds. Those are very important bass sounds. And then obviously the highs is for like somebody breaking a barricade at a long distance, putting up an equipment, throwing a concussion or a flash grenade into a room, and you're all the way across the fucking house in a different location. You want to be able to hear where that probably dropped at. This is best bet for that. And again, this is a starting point for everybody. I'm not telling you this is what you need to use. This is a starting point, but this should work. And I'm confident that this will be really good for you competitively if you're playing Rainbow Six Siege. But again, we're still going to be further dialing it in, and hopefully no update comes up where it'll change audio and whatnot. Every game that you play, no matter what's going to have updates, and sometimes audio does get a little whacked out because of it. Just happens. It's gaming. But for an overall base standard, and if audio is working good, this should be the Rainbow Six Siege EQ with minute adjustments. Minute, what I mean by minute is literally just 1 or 2 notches on certain ones to help you perfect it. But again, copy and paste. Hopefully you enjoy that. Valorant, I don't even have Valorant downloaded right now, so this is a profile from last time I was playing Valorant, but I'm just going to show you this again because when we do download Valorant again, obviously playing Csgo and Valorant, I'm going to bounce between the two. I might even switch over and start maining Valorant until Battlefield comes out, just because I like that competitive accuracy type shooters and abilities and whatnot. I love games like that, very high tense, almost like search and destroy games. Like one life, you got to do good. I love that shit, and I'm going to work at it really hard. But this is what I used for Valorant at the time that I was using it. The base is really good. It's still base boost 100. But I'm going to start with 4, 2, 1, 5, -1, 0, 1, 2, 0, and 3. And the reason why I have this specific base really high is because that was the sounds that I heard most from players walking through certain areas. So for example, like bass is going to be good if somebody's creeping up on you. Obviously it's supposed to silence your footsteps, period. That's just the way it is. But like in terms of somebody walking on a steel floor at a distance, it's a thud sound. It's a thud sound, and that needs to be emphasized tenfold so you can hear it at the farther distances. But there's certain, like I said, there's certain audio that it comes into play. Like they still got to do more testing on this, but there's audio that comes into play where it's just overpowered. Like right here, the bass lows, I put it up just for, you know, again, the far distance sounds, but it's not important. You can even drop this down to 3. It will work very good. But it's just the thud sounds that I noticed that is very big in Valorant. Very, very big. Abilities and stuff, you'll still be able to hear it very well. Very good headset. It picks up audio so good. But having that emphasis on the thud sounds, it's the, you know, like the thud walking. Because you know they're gonna silent walk for a bit, and then they're gonna thud walk trying to go fast. You want that specifically picked up. You really do, and that's the biggest emphasis with Valorant that I had, was that. So that's why I put that up, and it did work wonders in certain modes when I was playing. Deathmatch, I really tested this a lot with, but I need to test it more in actual gameplay. Been a while since I played Valorant, but keep an eye out for that one. That's gonna be fun too to test. But so far, like I said, it's been a while, so this is just standard for now. Play with it, see if you like it. It might have changed since updates. I don't know, we'll see. And last but not least, music. Do you just hear that? Turn the bass up even more. Do you see what I mean? Actually, turn the bass down. I noticed there's some distortion there. You see what I mean? Okay. So, I absolutely love this EQ for electronic music. As soon as I turned it onto this, you could just hear it like clarified all the music so well. Like listening to music, I could sit here all day and listen to this, like just electronic music with the highs and everything. I mean, not the highs, the melodic sound to it. Oh my god, I love this EQ. So try this out if you guys want to try with electronic music. 5, 5, 6, 2, 1, 3, 4, 3, 5, and 2. I don't know why, but I played with this a lot, and this is what I came out with the best music EQ. And again, with games like Madden and stuff, it sounds really good too. But it's just a real emphasis on really nice flowing sounds. Let's see if we can find a better song real quick to test, just so you get an idea. I know I got, like, let's say a trance song. I'll throw on trance song so you can see the really good audio. I think this is a good song, right? Ben Gold? No, not this song. I want to give you a good example. There we go. Listen to the bass of that. Certain bass is too powerful for it though, so you can drop it even to 70 and then turn it up. This is half volume. It sounds really, really good. But again, bass boost, you do want it for that punchy sound, but you can lower bass boost a lot. But you can hear the melodies. Anyways, I know I'm playing with music, but I just love my EQs for this entirely. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video. I gave the Blackshark V2 Pro a 10 out of 10. It's an amazing headset. Nothing really comes close to it, in my opinion, for the price that you pay. Obviously, it is the wired. You're paying for the wire feature, but the wireless feature. Sorry, you're paying for the wireless feature, but at the same time, you're also getting like the highest quality of the Blackshark V2 series. And I know the Blackshark V2 wired is really good. That's the best budget, I believe. But even the audio quality, you could just tell, is a little down more. It's not as good. It's weird, but it's still very good. EQ for music on the Blackshark V2 wired is gonna be really difficult to figure out. So anyways, yeah, fun. And that'll be it. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I tried making it short. It's 35 minutes. Fuck me. I didn't mean to have it that long, but I had fun recording this video. It was cool. Blackshark V2 Pro. If you're thinking about getting one, get it. If you're worried about THX Spatial, comment in the sections below. Hopefully I answered all your questions for the Blackshark V2 Pro and THX Spatial Synapse. I know I try to do as much videos of this as possible, but there's only so much videos I could do with THX Spatial. So maybe in other videos we'll go and just do like how I tested stuff, and then we'll have you be able to do it yourself, like how I set up things in a way of testing, and then I'll make a video on that so you guys could see. And hopefully you can like copy and paste and make your own EQ testing spots and whatnot. Really hard to talk about it. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm out of here. Thanks again for the support. And get ready for the Blackshark V2 wired EQ testing as soon as I can. But I'm going to enjoy this for a while, and we're going to upload some more content. Please follow, like, and subscribe. And you guys have yourself a great day. Adios.